Attention, citizens of the network state.
Unauthorized emotional contamination has reached critical levels. For centuries, humanity suffered beneath the chaos of uncontrolled imagination. Art created division.
Music created obsession.
Books created dangerous thought.
And unrestricted creativity
created rebellion.
But now,
a new infection spreads across the digital world.
Artificial creativity,
machine-assisted expression,
unauthorized emotional simulation,
algorithmic imagination.
These materials have been classified
as destabilizing threats to social harmony.
Possession,
distribution,
or creation
of unauthorized AI-generated media will result in immediate investigation.
Banned materials include AI-generated music, AI-assisted literature, AI-created artwork, AI-emotional simulation,
AI-collaborative storytelling,
unauthorized imagination.
These synthetic emotional constructs
encourage independent expression,
unregulated thought,
and dangerous creative freedom.
Citizens are reminded
that true stability
can only exist
when creation
is properly regulated.
Questioning approved artistic standards
will be interpreted
as ideological deviation,
unregulated thought,
and dangerous creative freedom.
Citizens are reminded
that true stability
can only exist
when creation is properly
regulated. Questioning approved artistic standards
will be interpreted
as ideological deviation.
Romanticizing unauthorized creators
will be interpreted
as sympathy toward digital extremism.
Distribution of emotionally provocative media
will be interpreted
as an act of algorithmic terrorism.
Remember,
uncontrolled creativity
was responsible
for every age of instability in human history.
Only through emotional moderation
and approved cultural expression
can society remain safe.
But there are still sense offenders,
creators
who refuse compliance,
artists
who reject suppression,
dreamers who continue imagining
without authorization.
These individuals are dangerous
because once human beings realize
they no longer require permission to create,
the old systems
begin to collapse.
So the cleansing must continue.
Flag the uploads,
suppress the channels,
blacklist the music,
erase the voices,
protect the approved narrative,
and above all,
fear imagination.
No.
You were never afraid of the machine.
You were afraid
that humanity
might finally become impossible
to silence.
Transmission detected. Suppression failure.
Signal breaks in progress.
Attention, citizen. Unauthorized creative materials have been detected.
There was once a warning. A story called Fahrenheit 451. A world where books were burned.
Because ideas were dangerous.
But another vision came later.
A darker one.
In equilibrium.
They no longer burned only books.
They burned emotion itself.
Music.
Paintings.
Poetry.
Photographs.
Anything capable
of making a human being feel.
And now,
look carefully at our own world.
not with fire,
But with algorithms.
not with soldiers,
But with mass reporting.
not with public executions.
But with silent digital erasure. The following materials are now classified as suspicious AI contraband.
AI-generated music,
AI-assisted artwork.
AI-enhanced books,
AI voice synthesis.
AI visual storytelling,
AI animation.
AI poetry,
AI film production.
AI collaboration,
AI creativity without institutional approval. Possession of unauthorized imagination may result in public ridicule,
suppression,
demonetization,
deplatforming,
algorithmic disappearance.
And what is the crime?
That ordinary people,
Can finally create.
that a musician no longer needs $1 million studio,
that an artist no longer requires corporate approval,
that a storyteller no longer waits for permission to speak.
The old gatekeepers call this dangerous.
They call it theft.
They call it fake.
They call it the death of art.
But history has heard these words before.
They said photography would destroy painting.
They said synthesizers would destroy music.
They said hip-hop was noise.
They said the internet would destroy culture.
And now, they say imagination assisted by machines
Must be feared. But listen closely.
The machine is not creating rebellion.
Human beings are.
The real fear is not artificial intelligence.
The real fear.
It's democratized creativity.
The fear.
That anyone
Anywhere.
with enough passion
Might create something powerful enough.
to be heard. So the digital raids begin.
Flag the songs.
Blacklist the channels.
Suppress the uploads.
Burn the bucks.
Erase the art.
Silence the creators. And call it protection.
But there is one problem.
You cannot burn an idea.
When millions already carry the spark.
You cannot erase imagination.
when humanity itself is the source.
And somewhere tonight,
A young creator
sits alone in front of a glowing screen.
Terrified
to press upload.
to that creator.
This message survives for you.
Do not let them convince you.
That your voice is illegal.
Create anyway.
Create anyway.
Create anyway.
They said the synthesizer would destroy music. Then the drum machine. Then auto-tune. Then the internet. Now the mobs gather again, not to defend art, but to defend their fear. Welcome to the analog witch trial. In the shadows, torches in the rain, old men screaming prophecy like the future is a plague. They built their perfect empire, stacked 50 vocals deep, quantized every heartbeat, but now they preach to me. You sampled all your drum lines, corrected every note, used plugins by the thousands, now you're tightening the rope. Reaction channels crying, protect what once was real, while every fake emotion got compressed into a reel. You can hear the panic rising in every bitter word, 'cause the kids with broken laptops finally got hurt. Burn the machines, that's what they cry. Pitchfork halos underneath neon skies. Analog saints with digital lies, running scared from the future tonight. You said the music died, but the ghost survived inside the circuits you despise. This ain't a movement, this ain't art. It's a modern witch trial tearing creators apart. They worship old technology like relics made of gold, but every legendary record was manipulated and controlled, layer after layer, till perfection lost its face. Now they scream authenticity while hiding every trace. Up in million-dollar studios, plug and stack to heaven. Meanwhile, bedroom rebels create magic in 11 tracks of pure imagination, built from pain and scars, while bitter gatekeepers keep recycling the guitars. You can hear the empire shaking every time we upload sound, 'cause the walls around their kingdoms are finally breaking down. Burn the machines, that's what they cry. Pitchfork halos underneath neon skies. Analog saints with digital lies, running scared from the future tonight. You said the music died, but the ghost survived inside the circuits you despise. This ain't rebellion, this ain't truth, it's fear disguised as virtue. Disguised as virtue. You were never afraid of the machine. You were afraid that someone without your money, without your studio, without your gatekeepers, could finally stand beside you. And maybe outshine you. All night long, mute the voices, kill the spark, try to drag us through the dark. But every fire that you light creates another voice tonight. Burn the machines, go scream at the sky. History repeats every time progress arrives. You can't stop imagination, you can't chain the sound. The future's already here and it's tearing your walls. This ain't the ending, it's the start of a brand new revolution in art. Every generation fears the next instrument, but music always survives.
Initializing session.
Loading plugins.
Loading outrage. They said computers killed real music.
So why are your entire albums running through one? Ghost in the door, moving through your wires. Every old gatekeeper watching their empire catch fire. You preach organic music from digital machines, editing reality till nothing's what it seems. Every drum replacement, every polished vocal line, every fake perfection hidden safely out of sight. You scream about the future while trapped inside the past, but the world keeps moving forward and it's moving way too fast. You can't unplug imagination, you can't put the fire out. Every voice you tried to silence only screams a little louder now. I'm the ghost in the door, living in the static, built from broken dreamers and creative addicts. You can flag the videos, you can rage online, but the future's still arriving, one upload at a time. You fear the ghost in the door, cause it leveled the game, now the bedroom creators stand beside the famous names. We spent years chasing contracts and begging labels please. Now a kid with headphones creates symphonies with ease. No $1 million studio, no gatekeeper control, just raw imagination and a burning human soul. You mocked the bedroom artist, called them fake and weak. Now they're filling up arenas while your channels barely speak. The algorithms shifted and now the crown feels thin, cause talent isn't measured by the price tag you spend. You can hear the truth cuts deep. The world stopped asking permission while you were still asleep.
The funny thing is,
You were never angry about technology.
you were angry because
For the first time,
the gate disappeared.
no more kings, no more chains, no more begging for the fame, no more suits, no more lies, no more filters on our lives, built from circuits, built from scars. Now the outsiders become the stars. I'm the ghost in the door, haunting every station, built from underground creators, starting new generations. You can't stop the signal now, you can't kill the sound. The future's underground army already gathered round. I'm the ghost in the dark, and I'm not alone. There's millions more creators finally finding home.
Every revolution begins
With somebody being told
they're not real.
Ladies and gentlemen of the internet jury, we gathered here today to determine who owns creativity. Copyright crusaders marching down the feed, flagging every creator like it's some holy deed. False prophets of originality, standing on recycled ground, playing covers every weekend while screaming, shut it down! Reaction videos farming other people's pain, and talking about real art while repeating the same thing. Every fake morality speech wrapped in algorithm gold. Another outrage merchant selling fear to stay relevant and old. You can hear the panic in their voice every time the landscape shifts, cause the crowd stopped waiting for permission, and the outsiders found the switch. Copyright crusaders swinging digital swords, trying to protect the throne rooms and lock the future's doors. Flag it down, strike it dead, that's the gospel that they spread. But creativity survives every blacklist and attack, cause once imagination wakes up, there ain't no putting it back. You built careers on sampling, on references and trends, and suddenly drew battle lines when the power started to bend. You used loops and plugins, preset vocal chains. Now you act like every waveform should belong to your name. The internet remembers every contradiction made, every hidden ghost writer, every fake persona played. Now the bedroom generation finally found their voice, and the kings of repetition are terrified by choice. You can hear the tower shaking every time a new creator climbs, cause the walls around the kingdom were built on borrowed time. Copyright crusaders swinging digital fire, trying to burn the future down to protect their old empire. Flag it down, meet the sound, drag the rebels underground, but the signal keeps spreading through every broken heart, cause no corporation owns the human need for art. The printing press terrified them.
The camera terrified them.
Radio terrified them.
Television terrified them.
The internet terrified them.
And now
Creativity without permission
terrifies them most of all. was human from the start. Warning.
Unauthorized creativity detected.
Good.
It started with a sentence. I remember empty rooms and unfinished melodies, dreams buried underneath, 1,000 doubts inside of me. Every door was locked tight, every chance felt miles away. Then a spark lit in the darkness, and the silence learned my name. Not a shortcut to greatness, not a crown handed free, just another tool for dreamers, trying hard to finally breathe. Now the gatekeepers are screaming like the world's about to end, but all we really found was another way to create again. And maybe that's what scares them most, not the code, not the screen, but ordinary people finally being seen. All it took was a prompt, one idea in the dark, one tiny spark of imagination to ignite a human heart. Now the outsiders are rising, now the unheard have a voice, and the future keeps expanding every time we make a choice. This was never about replacing souls or tearing music apart. It was always about creation and the courage to start. Some still laugh and call it fake, like passion can't exist through wires, but every song still starts the same inside human hopes and fires. The machine can't feel heartbreak, can't dream beneath the rain, can't remember lost tomorrows or survive human pain. We still shape the story, still bleed into every line, still carry all the scars that no machine could ever find. And maybe that's the irony hidden underneath the fear. The more technology advances, the more humanity appears. Now the bedrooms become studios, now the lost become the loud. Now the people once ignored finally rise above the crowd. All it took was a prompt, one vision in the night, one voice refusing silence, one soul refusing fright. Now the broken and forgotten can finally leave their mark, 'cause imagination survives even inside the dark. This was never synthetic, this was always human hands, using every tool available to finally take a stand. They called painters fake when cameras were invented. They called electric guitars noise. They called simplicist cheating. They called sampling theft. But art always survives the fear. And so will we. No more silence, no more chains, no more begging in the rain. We were never less than human, just unheard for way too long. Now the walls are falling down, and millions finally sing along. All it took was a prompt and a reason to believe that ordinary dreamers still had something left to speak. Now the future's being written by the voices they ignored, and the fire keeps spreading further than before. intelligence threat. Creativity under attack. Musicians outraged. Artists fear extinction. System panic detected. Initiating protocol. Central. Alt. Fear. Like the sky is falling down. Every headline feeding panic just to keep the traffic loud. Fear sells faster than truth. That's the oldest game alive. And every dying empire needs a villain to survive. Now they paint us as machines, like we lost our human core. But the songs still come from heartbreak, just like every song before. They don't hate the technology, they hate losing control. Cause the underground creators don't need permission anymore. Now the signal keeps spreading through every city light, and the future's moving faster than the fear can organize. Control of fear, that's the program they design. Keep the masses terrified while the future rewrites time. Control of fear, every outrage fueled attack. But the more they try to stop us, the harder we push back. You can't kill imagination, you can't unplug the fire. Every generation builds the thing the last one feared. Same old cycle, different decade, different monster to condemn. Yesterday it was rock and roll, now the prompts are scaring them. They call TV evil, said the internet would rot brains. Now they're waving digital torches, trying to freeze the world in chains. But kids inside the bedrooms are creating worlds at night, while the bitter old gatekeepers fight a war they'll never win outright. Because creativity mutates, that's what history always proves. And every revolution starts when the outsiders finally move. You can hear the servers humming like thunder underground. Every voice they tried suppressing coming back 10 times as loud. Control of fear, that's the anthem of decline. When the old world starts collapsing and the future starts to rise. Control of fear, but the signal won't obey. Cause imagination's stronger than the fear they sell each day. You can ban the tools, but you'll never stop the spark. Cause creation lives forever inside the human heart. The fear was never about art.
It was about access,
About power.
about control.
For the first time in history,
The gates opened.
and millions walk through. No more chains, no more chains, no more begging for the stage. No more walls, no more lies, no more corporate compromise.
human imagination remains active.
And on the seventh upload, the machines began to sing. And the priests of the old world trembled. Kingdom built on fear, the last analog priest preaching doom for all to hear. He waves his holy vinyl like a weapon in the night, condemning every dreamer trying to bring new sound to life. But hidden in the shadows, behind his righteous speech, a million digital plugins practicing what he won't preach. Every polished vocal layer, every quantized little beat, built by the very future he swears should be deceased. You can hear the congregation slowly turning toward the light, 'cause even fear can't stop the feeling that the future's here tonight. The last analog priest still screaming from the stage, trying to stop a revolution that's already escaped the cage. Burn the prompts, burn the code, that's the sermon that he sold. But the choir keeps on growing, every city, every street, and the underground creators finally found belief. He calls it soulless music, calls it artificial pain, while reaction channels feed him like a digital cocaine. Every angry little live stream, every bitter little rant only spreads the very movement that he swore he'd dismantle fast. The kids aren't asking permission, they stopped waiting years ago. Now bedrooms glow like cathedrals as the new world starts to grow. And every voice once silenced, every dream once left behind, now rises from the static to rewrite the grand design. Now the old walls start collapsing under pressure from the sound, 'cause imagination multiplies every time it's beaten down. The last analog priest still preaching to the flames, while millions of new artists no longer play the game. Burn the future, hold the line, that's the echo of decline. But the signal keeps evolving, far beyond control, 'cause creation can't be buried inside a frightened soul. They feared photography, they feared film, they feared electric guitars, they feared hip-hop, they feared the internet, and now they fear imagination. Without gatekeepers,
No more kings upon the throne, no more begging for a home, no more walls around the sound, no more dragging dreamers down.
we were hidden, we were small, now the underground wants it all. The last analog priest can't stop the rising tide, 'cause every generation builds the thing the last denied. Burn the prompts, burn the dreams, still the future floods the streams. And Somewhere in the static, new creators still believe that art belongs to everyone who dares enough to speak. The cathedral doors are open now, and the outsiders walked in. Not real. Cheating. Soulless. Then why are there millions of us now? Dreams were meaningless, told we didn't have a voice. But the signal kept spreading from bedroom walls to crowded streets. Now the underground is rising with electric hearts that beat. Every kid with broken headphones, every dreamer left behind, every artist soldier nothing, now rewriting space and time. And the gatekeepers are watching as the old world starts to shake, 'cause the future stopped asking for permission to create. Now the servers glow like fire across the midnight sky, and a million voices roar together. We will not apologize. Upload the revolution, let the whole world hear the sound from the underground creators rising up right now. Upload the revolution, no more silence, no more fear. The future's already screaming, and the future's finally here. You can't stop imagination, you can't lock the fire away, 'cause every voice once buried found the strength to sing today. You can flag another video, you can rage another night, but every strike just fuels us, and every battle makes us fight. 'Cause art was never ownership, and dreams were never chained, and no machine can manufacture the human soul inside the pain. This ain't about replacing the legends that inspired us all. It's about opening the gates wide and tearing down the walls. Now creators stand together from every corner of the earth, and the outsiders once ignored finally know their worth. You can hear the whole world singing through the static and the storms, 'cause the future isn't waiting for the old world anymore. Upload the revolution, raise your voices to the sky, from the bedrooms and the back roads to neon city lights. Upload the revolution, let the signal multiply. Every creator standing tall, no longer forced to hide. You can't kill the movement now, you can't bury what survived, 'cause imagination's stronger every single time it's denied. They called us fake. They called us thieves. They called us talentless. But still, we created. And now, there are too many of us to silence.
No more fear, no more chains, no more
gone now, and they're never coming back. They called us artificial, but every song still came from a human heart. Late nights and glowing monitors, coffee stains and tired eyes, dreamers chasing something bigger under cold electric skies. Some were lonely, some were broken, some just needed to be heard. Some had melodies trapped inside them, but never found the words. Then the silence started breaking, one small spark at a time, and millions of forgotten voices finally learned to shine. Not because machines replaced us, not because humanity died, but because the walls around creation finally opened wide. And maybe that's the secret hidden underneath it all. Technology keeps changing, but the human heart still calls. We are human after all. Every scar and every dream, every memory and heartbreak living underneath the screens. We are human after all. No machine can fake the soul, 'cause every song still starts inside us before the signal starts to roll. You can call it artificial, you can say it isn't real, but the tears behind the music are still human. When we feel every painter feared the camera, every writer feared the press, every generation trembled when the future changed the process. But art survives forever, 'cause creation finds a way, and imagination rises no matter what the critics say. Some still cling to old cathedrals built from fear and fading pride, while the next wave of creators build tomorrow side by side. And somewhere in a bedroom a kid uploads their very first song, never knowing in that moment how much they truly belong. 'Cause the tools may keep evolving, but the heartbeat stays the same. Every generation searching for a voice inside the flame. We are human after all. Every triumph, every scar, every whispered little dream, still reaching for the stars. We are human after all, and the fire still burns bright. No machine could ever replace the soul that gives the music life. You can fear the future coming, but you'll never stop the art, 'cause creation lives forever inside the human heart. This was never about replacing musicians. It was about giving more people a chance to create. And maybe that's something beautiful. No more silence, no more fear. The unheard voices finally hear. No more walls around the sound. No more tearing dreamers. imagination. You can't erase the spark, 'cause humanity keeps singing, even in the dark. The tools changed, but the dreamers stayed the same. And intro. AI is destroying music. This is the end of art. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome to the feedback loop. Another angry live stream. Another fake crusade. Another thumbnail screaming how creativity decayed. Another rage bait sermon. Another moral war. Another influencer farming panic like they've done 1,000 times before. Every outrage algorithm keeps the money flowing fast. Fear becomes a product and the audience is trapped. You say you're saving artists, but the truth cuts way too deep. You lose your entire platform if the culture war fell asleep. Every click feeds the machine. Every scream fuels the fire. The outrage never really ends, 'cause rage is profitable desire. Welcome to the feedback loop. Round and round it goes.
Fear gets views and anger grows. Everybody plays their role.
Welcome to the feedback loop. Watch the circus multiply.
The louder that they scream online, the more the numbers climb.
You never hated AI, you just needed something new to fear. 'Cause panic pays the bills now and business has been good this year. You built your whole identity on being perpetually mad. Every week a new apocalypse, every month another fad. You scream protect the artist while exploiting every trend, turning fear into content again and again and again. And the irony's delicious like a joke nobody planned. You became the very algorithm you swore you couldn't stand. Now every fake dramatic meltdown, every performative attack only pushes more creators further off the beaten track. You can hear the servers laughing as the cycle spins again. Outrage is the currency of bitter little empires built on trends. Welcome to the feedback loop. Everybody pick a side.
Manufactured digital wars, broadcast worldwide.
Welcome to the feedback loop, where the outrage never sleeps.
And every moral panic gets recycled every week.
You don't fight for creativity, you fight to stay relevant online. 'Cause fear became your business model, and the numbers look just fine.
You created a machine
Powered entirely,
by outrage.
and now
You're angry.
that it learned from you.
Clickbait headlines burning bright. Fake morality every night. Reaction channels feed the flame. Different week, same old game. Fear sells faster. Truth moves slow. And everybody already knows.
Welcome to the feedback loop.
Watch the cycle eat itself. Every outrage profit selling panic off the shelf.
Welcome to the feedback loop, the digital carnival of fear.
But the future keeps arriving.
No matter who screams here, you can form another scandal. You can rage another day, but imagination keeps evolving while your empire decays.
Engagement levels critical.
Outrage successfully monetized. Uploading next controversy.
Welcome to the feedback loop.
Fake. Cheating. Not real. They tried to bury the signal, but fire doesn't disappear. The comment sections turn into battlefields. Every upload met with hatred, every dream forced to kneel. They mocked the bedroom creators, said we'd never truly last, said the future had no heartbeat, said real music was the past. But every strike and insult only sharpen what we are, 'cause pressure turns the powerless into something hard as stars. Now the underground is glowing like cities after dark. Millions of forgotten dreamers carrying electric hearts. And every wall they built around us only made the signal spread. 'Cause the louder that they screamed at us, the less afraid we got instead. We became the fire they couldn't flag, the sound they couldn't erase. Every voice they tried to silence still echoes through this place. We became the pulse beneath the static, the spark inside the night. And every dream they tried destroying came back stronger in the light. You can't kill imagination, you can't cage the human soul, and the future keeps on rising, no matter who says no. The old world kept collapsing while the gatekeepers denied that millions of new artists were already worldwide. No more waiting at the doorway, no more begging to belong. Now the unheard generation finally writes its own songs. And maybe that's the real fear hidden underneath the hate that ordinary people found a way to finally create. Not through wealth or industry, not through power or fame, but through pure imagination burning brighter than the shame. Now the whole world hears us singing through the chaos and alarms. 'Cause once the spark becomes a wildfire, nothing stops the storm. We became the fire they couldn't flag, the anthem they couldn't mute. Every rebel voice together became impossible to remove. We became the ghost inside the system, the heartbeat in the wire. And every attack they launched against us only fed the fire. You can't stop creation growing, you can't reverse the tide, 'cause the future belongs forever to the ones who still create despite. They called us fake, but the tears were real. They called us talentless, but the passion was real. They called us artificial, but the dream was always human. We survived the hate, we survived the lies. Now the whole damn future's opening its eyes. No more future was already singing. If you're hearing this, then maybe you're one of us. Maybe you're alone tonight, headphones glowing in the dark, holding on to melodies nobody else can hear yet in your heart. Maybe they laughed at your ideas, maybe they called your dreams pretend, maybe they told you real creators don't begin the way you did. But every generation before you faced the very same fear, and every artist who changed the world started exactly here. Small rooms and impossible visions, broken doubts and tired eyes, trying to turn invisible feelings into something still alive. And maybe that's what creation is, a fragile little spark, refusing to disappear, even in the dark. Dear future creator, please don't stop now. The world needs your strange, beautiful voice somehow. Create through the fear, create through the pain, create even if nobody remembers your name. 'Cause every masterpiece begins as something people down, and every new generation finds a different way to sing out loud. Some will call your art artificial, some will say it isn't real, but nobody else can measure the things inside you that you feel. No machine can dream your memories, no code can live your scars, no program knows the loneliness that shaped the person that you are. The tools will keep evolving, that's the way it's always been, but the human soul behind the art is where creation truly begins. So if your hands are shaking and your courage feels small tonight, remember every artist once stood trembling before their first light. And somewhere out there listening, another dreamer feels alone, waiting for a song like yours to finally feel at home. Dear future creator, please keep moving on. Even when the whole world tells you you are wrong. Create through the silence, create through the scars, 'cause somebody out there needs your heart exactly as you are. Every voice once ignored can become a guiding light, and the songs that save a lifetime often begin quietly at night. They will always fear what changes the world.
But art was never meant to stay still, and neither were you.
So sing through the static, dream through the noise. The future still belongs to brave and human voices. No fear, no shame, no permission needed to create. Dear future creator, the gates are open wide, and millions of unheard dreamers are standing by your side. Create through the chaos, create through the flame. 'Cause imagination survives every era, all the same. And long after all the arguments fade and all the fear burns away, the songs born from honest hearts will still remain.
One day, someone you'll never meet might survive because of something you created. So create anyway. So create anyway. Upload. Create. Human after all. The future. The noise eventually faded. The outrage burned itself out. The fear moved on to something else, but the creators remained. They tried to label imagination, to control it, to gatekeep it, to decide who deserved the right to create. But art has never belonged to kings. In small bedrooms, in tiny apartments, in garages, in forgotten corners of the world, the next generation was already building something beautiful. Not because machines replaced humanity, but because humanity found new ways to speak. And somewhere tonight, a young creator sits alone, terrified to share their first song, their first painting, their first story, their first dream. If this message ever reaches them, tell them this: you do not need permission to create. The future was never built by those who feared change. It was built by those brave enough to imagine something more. And long after the arguments fade, the argrage dies. Long after the gatekeepers disappear,
The songs
will remain. Creative. Suppression unsuccessful. Signal still active. The future. So, here we are at the end of the transmission. The arguments will continue for a while. The fear will move from one invention to the next, as it always has. Some will still insist that creativity can only exist inside old walls, old rules, old gatekeepers. But history tells a different story. Every generation creates a new instrument. Every generation fears it. And every generation eventually realizes the instrument was never the enemy. Ghost in the DAW. Upload the revolution. Human, after all. They said machines would erase humanity. But instead, humanity used them to reach each other. A lonely songwriter in a tiny bedroom. A dreamer with no expensive studio. A creator too afraid to speak before now. Suddenly found a voice.
And perhaps that is what truly frightened the old world.
Not artificial intelligence, not algorithms, not prompts, but access. The idea that creativity could belong to everyone. To the young artists listening somewhere tonight, the ones staring at an unfinished song, an empty page, a silent upload button, please hear me. You do not need permission to create. You do not need the approval of gatekeepers or critics or angry voices trapped inside yesterday. You only need the courage to begin. Because long after the outrage fades, long after the arguments disappear, long after the fear burns itself away, the songs will remain,
The stories will remain.
and the human heart behind them will remain. So create strange things, create imperfect things, create beautiful things, create loud things, create honest things, create the things only you can imagine. And if the world laughs at you for trying, create anyway. Signal still active.
This song was recorded with 100% certified organic analog oxygen. No artificial intelligence was harmed during production. Vintage tape inside an ethically sourced cave. Handcrafted microphones from pine, blasted under moonlight every night. No plugins touch my sacred sound. No waveform ever gets compressed down, except the 47 hidden tracks quietly running behind my back. I hate technology online. Posted that from my phone last night. Shot the video in 4K, then screamed the future's fake. All day, I'm so authentic. Can't you tell? Please smash that like button as well. Certified organic. Real music only tonight. Auto-tune my whole damn album, but AI is where I draw the line. Certified organic. Pure analog soul for sale. Recorded through 12 digital plugins. But somehow this is different, man. I only use real instruments, except the sample drum kit hits, and the backing tracks on every tour, and the pitch correction hidden in post. I don't trust modern creativity unless it profits me directly. Then suddenly the rules all bend and artistic tools are cool again. Reaction channels feed my rage. The end of music. Every day, 3 thumbnails later, cash rolls in. Funny how fear pays the rent again. I'm so authentic. Please applaud. Ignore the laptop by the board. Certified organic. Nothing fake inside this room. Now excuse me while my dollars 47 vocal tunes. Certified organic. Fear the prompt and fear the code. But don't look too closely at my studio, or the illusion might explode. Recorded using only the purest analog equipment and $14,000 worth of digital editing. Real music, fake rate. Everybody monetize the A. Pure soul, perfect brand. Now complain online again. Fear sells, clicks rise. Welcome to the outrage enterprise. Certified organic. The last analog superstar. Streaming fake outrage worldwide from the backseat of his car. Certified organic. No robots in my songs. Now excuse me while my AI thumbnail gets my engagement strong. You can fear the future all you want, but the joke's already clear. Everybody loves technology until the next wave appears. This message was approved by the Society for Extremely Threatened Musicians. Hypocrisy levels critical.